What's up, YouTube? This is DBZ439 coming at you with another deck profile. This time it's Infernoids. Infernoids, I feel, are a top tier deck just because they're really good against the meta. Anything that's heavily reliant on the graveyard, Infernoids have a really good matchup against. Like, for example, Satellanites, Necroz, BAs even. They all, use the graveyard a lot, so Infernoids do a good job of banishing stuff in the grave. So before I start, I just want to let you know that all the big Infernoids, basically the ones that have more than 4 stars, they can tribute a monster during either player's turn on your side of the field to banish a card in your opponent's graveyard during either player's turn. Also, if they're in the graveyard, the big ones, you can banish, you can special summon it from the graveyard or the hand. Now, for the small ones, 4 stars or less, those guys, they have to be special summoned from the hand. They can't be special summoned from the grave. And if you want to banish using their effect, you have to sack one of your monsters during their turn. So those are the limitations of the small ones. And the big ones, they're obviously more versatile, but they require more banishing. So with that in mind, let's get on to the main deck. So first off, for the biggest Infernoid, you got Infernoid Anoku. Anoku, basically what she does is when she special summon, you have to banish 3 Infernoids, and when she special summon, it pops all other monsters on field except for her, including your own. And also, she has an effect. She in particular doesn't actually banish like monsters in grave. What she does is you can sack a monster on your side of the field during either player's turn to banish the activation of a spell or trap. So this is really good in terms of stopping your opponent from making spell trap plays. Also, another thing I forgot to mention about generic Infernoid effect is you can't spam special summon them. There's a limit of 8 levels or ranks. So ranks count towards that limit. So level or ranks, and 8's the limit. And it's also for effect monsters. So we'll get to that later on, but just keep that in mind. For the other big Infernoid, we have Devotee. She allows you to sack a monster on your side of the field to stop monster effects once per turn during either player's turn. Also, she pops every. She's basically a heavy storm when she's special summoned, and you got to banish 3 to special summon her. Next, we have Triple Autondo. He's a big beater that can attack twice if he sends a monster to the grave. So it's kind of like BLS, in my opinion. And also, if you notice, these guys have 0 defense, except for these two. These guys don't have 0 defense, but everything else, they have 0 defense. So this deck is pretty aggressive in terms of offense. Next up for the big Infernoids, we have, or the last of the big Infernoids, we have 2 Systemus. If he attacks at the end of the battle phase, if he attacks a monster at the end of the battle phase, you're allowed to banish 1 card on the field. So it's good against like pendulum decks and whatnot. It has other applications too. Anyways, now starting with the small Infernoids, we got the level 4 Infernoid. He basically allows you to pop a spell or trap, except the turn he activates the effect, he can't attack. He allows you to go to your rank 4 plays as well. Next up, we have Triple Harmdic. I think this is the best of the small Infernoids because he allows you to pop a monster, gets over really big and annoying stuff, and so he's really good. He's a level 3. For the level 2, we have Double Entra. He allows you to bounce a monster on field. And we have 1 Pyramace. He allows you to spin a set card on the field. Now, keep in mind, it's not just set spell or trap. It can be set monster. In addition to the spin effect, he can your opponent can't chain to activation. So if you try to spin a face down, like you try to spin like their bottomless or something, I don't know, they can't respond. And then last of the Infernoids, we have Decatron, and I feel this is what made the deck really, really good. This came out recently in Clash of Rebellions. It's a tuner. It allows you. This one's special in the sense that you don't need to banish it for the banish anything to special summon it. It's just literally a normal summon or a special summon. He's also your reasoning target. Reasoning is very important in the deck as well because it mills everything and gives you graveyard advantage. What he does is he's a tuner, 1 star, and when he's summoned or normal summon or special summon, you get to mill an Infernoid, and this guy gains the level of the Infernoid he sent, plus he gets the effect. So it's really busted, and it allows you to dig into your deck and use literally whatever effect you need when you see fit. Last monster we have is Raiden. Again, he allows you to mill. He's a tuner. He's level 4. Opens a place. Okay, onto the spells. You have triple upstart, speed through the deck. Um, then we have double Void Seer. This card's busted. It's the basically Forbidden Lands for Infernoids. Also, it has a graveyard effect, so if you mill it, no big deal. You can just use the graveyard effect to prevent destruction on one of your Infernoids. And then we have triple drag down. Again, this is you want to speed through the deck and trying to get this card, which is reasoning. Reasoning is what makes the deck really good because it basically sends everything you have into the deck to the graveyard, which gives you advantage to special summon more Infernoids. Then we have 1-for-1 to get a Decatron. Monster Gate, basically the fourth reasoning. Barrel from a different dimension. This card's really good in the deck. Unfortunately, it's at 1, so you get to replenish your graveyard. Last spell with Regeki, staple. And we run 5 traps, 1 torrential. Keep in mind, even if you torrential your own monsters, they hit grave, so it's still good for you. Gives you graveyard advantage. And then last of the traps, double breakthrough. Has graveyard effect and double mistake. This deck does not search whatsoever, so this crushes the meta. All right, quickly onto the side deck. We run one end of the Anubis, reasoning target, and it's like Necro Valley with legs. 1 Jinzo. You only run 5 traps, so it's easy to decide. 1 Thunder King Ryle. It's like another mistake. Triple Fairy Wind against the clean matchup. Shadow Imprisoning Mirror against Dolls BAs. Triple Light Imprisoning Mirror against Teller Knights, and triple MST. I usually side them and against Klee's back row heavy decks. Okay, finally for the extra deck we have 1 Star Eater for the level 11, 1 Leo for level 10, 1 Trish for level 9, 1 Stars for level 8. For level 7s, we have 3. We have 1 Clearwing, 1 Black Rose, and 1 Scrap Archfiend. This guy's important because he's a non-effect monster, so remember about the level 8 limit that you have. This card doesn't fall on the limit, so he's kind of invisible on field. Um, and then for the 6, we have Goyo and Gaia Knight. Same reason why I run the Scrap Archfiend. Last of the Synchros, we have 1 Armades, Keeper of Boundaries. For the XZs, we run 4 rank 4s. We have 1 Exton, 1 Castel, 1 Honor Arc, 1 Dark Rebellion, and 1 Jedi Pearl. And this is also a non-effect monster. So YouTube, let me know if you have any suggestions for this deck. This deck is actually modeled after Sean Martinov. He topped at, I think, YCS Toronto recently. So shoutouts to him. And this deck is really fun. I enjoyed it while I had it. So please let me know if you have any other comments or suggestions on how to make the deck better. And I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.